Hello, you guys watching Bloomberg Business Week Vietnam and the interview series of experts and leaders from Vietnam Investment Summit 2024. And now we're sitting and talking to Mr. Prasenjit Chakravarti, Chief Corporate Strategy and Transformation Officer at Techcombank. Yeah, thank you very much for joining us in the interview. First question for one keyword to describe 2024.
Keyword for
Yeah, one
2024,
keyword.
I would say transformation is the keyword for 2024 in many different ways. I think transformation because we, as a bank, we are transforming and reaching a new stage of our transformation where we are really leveraging the digital data and AI capabilities of the bank to really go into new areas and new businesses. So very exciting time for us. I think it's transformation for the global economy, with the new regime change and the political changes in the US and the new trade tariff warriors coming in. So I think a lot of this is really driving a lot of changes and transformation across the macro and our businesses as well. That's why transformation is the key word for us this year.
Yeah, and how about ESG? I think it's not yet a trend, but it is a must that many corporate are applying.
So I think the ESG for me is a critical direction that is the purpose of the transformation. To me, transform to actually embed ESG into our banking, into our daily lives, into the way in which we develop as an economy, right? And so that's why, because every transformation needs a purpose, right? And for me, the next wave of the transformation has the purpose of driving a more sustainable, more green, more environmental friendly development for all of us.
So, what role do you see the banking sector playing in advancing the ESG practices and providing green and sustainable financing products in Vietnam?
So I think the banking sector plays a very pivotal role because, as you know, a lot of the capital flows into the economy through the banks, and therefore the banks have a unique position to help guide the flow of capital into the green industries, the new green sectors that are developing, into new green companies, new green projects, and also to help to provide the financing required to transform existing companies into more green companies, right? So the banks therefore play a very important role in that transformation. And as you know, as a bank itself, our ESG footprint is not very high, right? We are not having any power plant business or manufacturing business in the bank. But through our financing book, we are impacting many, many parts of the economy. And that's, I think, why the role of bank is very important in the ESG revolution.
Yeah, to be more specific, how is Techcombank integrating ESG into its operation,
Yeah.
especially lending decisions?
So we have been steadily making progress every year on this agenda, and we constituted board level committees and executive level committees to focus on ESG in the last 12 to 18 months. So we are taking it very seriously. We have now embedded ESG into the full bank, meaning in the business, in the support functions, and all of us are collectively working on this agenda. And so for us as a bank, ESG has become a very serious part of our brand promise, which is change banking, change lives. It is a very important part of our story that whenever we are doing that, we are doing it with a sustainable lens, a green lens. And so we have embedded it everywhere in our system. And what we are now trying to do is take new products and solutions to our customers. Yeah. So for example, this year, we launched several new interesting products, like we have launched a product for our retail customers called Eco Card. Yeah. And I don't know if you guys have seen it, but it's a wonderful card which actually allows you to profile where you're spending money, and then it will tell you the carbon footprint of your spend. And based on that, you can then understand how every dong you're spending is contributing to greenhouse gas emissions, and then take some decisions. So for example, using an electric taxi instead of a petrol one, is one way you could reduce your footprint, right? So we can give that information in a very simple way for our customers to look at, and I think it's really quite popular with the customers in Vietnam. Yeah.
So in terms of Techcombank's engagement in the green capital market, including mobilizing green capital
Yeah.
and providing green bonds.
Yeah.
What would be the key to accelerating this progress?
So I think for Techcombank, we are obviously a key orchestrator of capital in the country, right? We are one of the biggest banks in the country. We are one of the biggest, not just commercial bank, but investment bank in the country. So we help our clients to access capital. We are also have a very big balance sheet where we are putting our own capital in. So we are a very big player. And what we are trying to do is a few things. The first is this year we have, and actually just this week we have gotten the news that we have been certified by S&P for our green bond framework. Yeah. So we will have a medium rating on our medium green rating for our green bond framework, which is one of the highest in Vietnam, and which allows us to now go to market and issue green bonds as an institution. And again, that is one way in which we can deploy capital. So effectively, all the proceeds from that green bond will now flow into green projects and into green industries and green transformation of our corporate clients. And so we are very excited with that news, and we are looking forward to doing more work with our clients in that space.
Yeah. According to Techcombank's ESG framework, and one of the highlights is that the IT
Yeah.
and data team
Yeah.
will carry out the ESG work stream
Yeah.
in terms of data and privacy.
Yeah.
So, and also digital transformation.
Yeah.
So, could you please elaborate on this work stream and some notable aspect of it within the context of Vietnam?
Vietnam? Yeah. So I think, as you know, we have been on this path of digital and data-led transformation for the last 3 to 4 years. And we are making very good progress. And that is an essential, what I call, enabler to having a strong ESG sustainable business model, right? And why is that the case? Because first of all, digital transformation allows us to create digital financial solutions, which you can then offer to a larger number of customers, which you could otherwise not serve before, right? So our ability to bring good quality or very high quality financial services to the masses of Vietnam has significantly improved because we now have the digital platforms in place, right? And that allows anybody in Vietnam today, you don't have to be an affluent person to actually access Techcombank and its products and services. So I think that is one of the ways in which the transformation is helping. On the data front, what we are finding is that the whole aspect of ESG transformation requires you to start looking at a lot of new types of data, typically non-financial data, like greenhouse gas emissions, an example, which you would not really look at in a traditional bank before, right? But now because we have all this new capability, we can take in this new data set from our customers, include that within our financial analysis of the clients, make good decisions on green loans and green bonds, etc., and then take it into our operating principles. So data and digital really are very key enablers to make us more sustainable as a bank. Yeah.
Yeah, if we could say that ESG is now on the way of every company in countries. You say transformation is the keyword for 2024.
Yeah.
So what will be the keyword for 2025?
2025, I think, will be, for me, the keyword will be accelerate. Because I think we are now at a very exciting place as a country, as a company, and we have many of the foundational capabilities in place. And what I would love to see next year is that we shift from, let's say, second gear in a car to what I call overdrive, where you're going faster, than you are, the engine can turn. And really, that is because we have the right policies in place from the new regulations that are coming out. We have our platforms and capabilities in place. Our people are there, and we are very excited and ready to take part in the new growth phase of the country and the bank. Yeah.
Yeah. I have some question that not in the list.
Sure.
But if you're available, please
Yeah,
answer.
yeah, okay.
You say the keyword for 2025 acceleration.
Yeah.
We heard that Techcombank is planning to expand
Yeah.
outside of Vietnam.
Uh-huh.
So is it true or not, and why?
So I don't think we can make a public statement about that topic yet, but I think what we are looking for is a very strong growth agenda for going forward. We will be refreshing our 5-year strategic outlook in 2025. And one of the questions we will consider is the one you are asking. I don't think we have reached a conclusion on that yet. But you know, I think it's also one of those things where, if you think about it, over time, it is a sort of an obvious thing as the economy expands and our clients go overseas and they become the Vietnamese companies go overseas. You know, we will sort of follow them. So we are very client driven. We will go where our clients will go.
So it's still under consideration.
So it is always under consideration. It's one of the paths and options we always consider and look at. And if it makes sense for us, we will do it. Yeah.
So if it could be possible, what kind of drivers to have to accelerate this plane successfully?
So I think a key element of that would be a little bit of the. So if you think about the Vietnam economy, right now it is driven a lot by FDIs flowing into the country, right? And so that is one of the corridors you can follow in this kind of a logic. The other corridors you follow is where the Vietnam government is, Vietnam corporates are exporting their goods and services into the other countries, right? And so obviously into ASEAN would be, so what we would expect is FDI is already very strong, but we would also, as more and more Vietnamese companies start exporting, I think that will be a key enabler for us to really set up, overseas presence and to be able to serve them across corridors. And if you think about, global banking and, even the biggest banks in the world, that is generally how they have expanded as well, is they have followed their own corporations and the companies from their home country into the rest of the world.
Thank you very much, and we are looking forward to some good news
Yeah.
from Techcombank in
Thank
the
you
future.
very much.
Thank you.